Hey, what's up out there, YouTube? Double D here with Tournage du Bois. In case you haven't noticed, it's cold. You can see my breath out here. It is cold here in Kansas this weekend, but we have some fun stuff going on. So, we have a propane heater that I built this fancy high quality rack for. Just going to hold it temporarily, but that will be put in the shop when we get that built. So, get a little bit of warmth out here, make it more tolerable since it is a high today of around 6 degrees Fahrenheit. Hooray for winter in Kansas. But we've got projects to do and things to work on. So today we have this piece of RedBUD. This was given to me by a gentleman, and we're going to give this a go. So what I want to do is try and turn some sort of a shape out of it, probably, well, obviously a shape, but most likely I'm going to try and do some sort of a hollow form, maybe a bud vase or something like that. Of course, this being February, the month of love, with the YouTube cross-channel challenge being flowers for the month of February. So we're going to give this a shot, see where it goes, and this could segue into our challenge piece, depending on how it turns out, or we will start from scratch. At any rate, we're going to get this turning and have some fun. Got some stickers in the mail, so some shout outs coming through, so bear with me here. Jigsy's Shed. I'll put a link to his channel right up here. Jigsy does a lot of really fun stuff. He has some videos of him working in his shop, getting it built, building some tables and things. He has participated in the YouTube cross-channel challenge. Did a great fire bowl last month. So keep looking forward to seeing what he does. Lots and lots of fun. Wood Turning by Me. I'll put a link to her channel right up here. Megan. She's doing a lot of fun things as well. She's also participating in the YouTube cross-channel challenge. So go over, check her out, subscribe if you haven't to each one of these channels as we talk about them. Woodsley Summercraft. Rob Summerlin does some absolutely awesome stuff, does a lot of lives, participates in some groups that I'm part of. As a wealth of knowledge, he just did a piece of a beam that's well over 200 years old. Go check out his channel. I'll put that link right up here as well. Check him out, subscribe to him, so show him some support with the amazing stuff that he does. Next up we have Leona Faye Wood Turning. Leona is part of the groups that I'm with as well. Does some great stuff. She's hoping to participate in the YouTube cross-channel challenge. I'll put links to her information right up here as well. So I'll put that right up here. I'll put all their information down below as well. Like I said, I have a few, so bear with me. Next up, we have RedBUD Wood. Lots of fun things. He's also part of the group that I'm in with the Bananas group, and we have a lot of fun with there talking through projects. We have some group things that go on with live projects, and always working to learn, and lots of really good informational stuff. Speaking of which, the host of that group, Steve with Temple Boy Turnings, put a link to his channel right up here. Wealth of knowledge. He has a lot of fun with his projects. He did a shadow vase the other day that was really interesting. I'm really thinking about ways I can try to mimic something like that to push myself as well. Great stuff. Steve over there does a lot of fun. And so the group that we have, the Fork and Bananas, there's a website, forkandbananas.com. I'll put that information down below. But there is a calendar of events out there where Steve maintains a list of all the channels, or as many as we can with what we have, when they have lives, when they have premieres, videos, things like that. So definitely, if you want to keep up with this community, go to that website, save it as a favorite, always know what's going on, and go from there. So without any further ado, let's get this project on the run. So we've got some checking and things we have to be cognizant of as we go through, so that will help determine the final shape as we're moving. I'll be working as I can to get some of this bark off, just to keep it from flying off and hitting me in the face mask as we go. That being said, I'm not going to mount this up on a face plate yet. What I want to try and do first is see if I can get a tenon turned, and then we can get it mounted up in the chuck and go from there. So I'll find a rough center spot and we will start that process. Like I said, the idea is a rough center, so we'll go about right there. Since this is in the spindle orientation, the length of the tree, I will start off with my spindle roughing gouge, and we'll go from there. It looks like I didn't hit record. I had didn't hit record. That's my fault. So we've got the shape I like. Got it hollowed out, bored it out with a Forstner bit. Did some hollowing with my hollowing tool. Sorry about that. We will get this sanded up. I used a little bit of black Starbond CA glue in there to give it some texture and coloring, and we'll start sanding this.
One eternity later.
Alright, so we got that sanded up to 400 grit, hit it with the denatured alcohol, then heat it again at 400, so it's feeling really good. So we're going to use our Brad's abrasive sanding paste from Brad's Workbench, and get that on here, get that sanded up again, which is the equivalent of about 1500 grit, and then we'll look at getting our finish on it. Then we will need to get rid of the tenon and go from there. So now we're going to use our tongue wax. From Brad's workbench also. Get that put on here. Let it sit for a bit. And then we'll come back and buff it off. And be ready to start looking at getting the tenon taken off. Alright, so we will let that sit for a bit. We'll be right back. Well, as far as you're concerned. Alright, we are back and ready to start buffing off our finish. Alright, let's see about getting that tenon taken off. I think I'm going to take that over to the belt sander and get that taken off from there, and then we'll sand up the bottom and get it marked up, go from there. And since we can't get this on the lathe for the friction polish and things to really work with Brad's workbench stuff, I'm going to use a different little bit of a wax finish here on the bottom, just to give it a little tiny bit of a shine. Doesn't have to be anything super significant because of course it is the bottom. So it's going to be sitting on that. But put a little bit of a finish on there. All right, so we'll get this all cleaned up and then we will come back and talk about it, and I'll have some slow rollers up at the end. Hey, welcome back. I will tell you, that has made a difference. Can't see my breath now. It's probably 40, 45 degrees in here, so it's tolerable. FYI, if you've never worked with RedBUD, expect a bit of a mess. Not super clean, but you know what? It's okay because it pans out and works. So we've got our small vase with the graining. We've got our logo on the bottom. Of course, it's going to be a little bit dirty because of all the dust around. We do have it hollowed out, not super deep because I didn't want it to be too awfully deep and have to hollow out the whole thing. The main thing is, of course, to be able to put like a small insert in it, maybe a couple of little flowers, or potentially some fake flowers to make it look pretty. But the coloring, I'm really happy with how that turned out with the black inlay of the glue. And the overall shape, I'm really happy with it. Leave me your comments down below, feedback, thoughts, what you like, what you don't like. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on if you liked it or you didn't. Either way, I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate each and every one of you coming by. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It does help support the channel, and we have seen it grow in the past bit. We just passed the 400 subscriber mark in the past week. So it's really exciting to see that growth and all the support from the community. So definitely continue supporting, and I appreciate every bit of feedback that you give. Once again, all the links down below for all the sticker swaps and things like that. So please check out those makers, support their channels as well, and let's keep on going. I will have pictures at the end, and we'll catch you all next time.